Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be covering an opening trap. This is called the Blackburne Shilling Gambit. It is something that black can do against the Italian opening. However, even though this is a nice cool trap to watch, usually it's not very possible to do it because the opponent doesn't really fall for this. So let's actually see this from black's perspective, and now we'll show you how to prevent this as white very easily. Now, as we know, when the bishop goes to here, they're putting pressure over f7, but in the Blackburne Shilling Gambit, black moves the knight to d4 to attack this knight. Now, before the knight goes to d4, it was actually protecting this pawn on e5. So when the knight goes to d4, a lot of white players might think, these are usually beginners, to capture this pawn. But this is actually when the trap is going to happen. If white captures that pawn, black can bring the queen to g5 with tempo, attacking the white knight and also attacking on g2. Generally speaking, white doesn't think this is a big deal, since it is attacking the knight. They can try to do this fork as the bishop protects the knight on f7. Now the knight is going to be attacking these two black pieces. However, the problem is, after black captures this, there is actually going to be some checkmate ideas or queen traps that black can do. After queen goes to g2, there are mainly two options for white to do. They can either bring the rook to f1, or they can capture the rook on h8. If they capture the rook on h8, we can capture the opponent's rook. We're doing a check. The king cannot go here because of the knight. So there's only one move for white to do, which is bishop f1. After bishop goes to f1, we can capture the opponent's pawn on e4 to do this check. And now we're going to be forcing them to block with the bishop. They can also block with the queen, but generally speaking, that doesn't really happen. You can just capture the opponent's queen. Be careful not to capture this queen as the bishop is protecting it. Instead of winning the queen, this will turn into a trade. So after they block with the bishop, there's actually a checkmate we can do in two steps. White can prevent this, but they will have to give a queen for that. If you want, you can pause the video right now. This is not a forced checkmate. As I said, white can give a queen for it. Alright. If you were able to find it, excellent. If you weren't, that's also totally okay. What we can play as black is we can bring the knight to c2, do this fork. Even though we are doing this fork, we don't really care about the rook. We want that king to go to f1, and then queen h1 is going to be the checkmate. As I said, if they actually capture our knight with the queen, then you win a queen. There's no immediate checkmate, but we are in a very good position. We're attacking the opponent's bishop. They would have to move the knight. Now, this is what happens if the opponent captures our rook. If they move their rook to f1 instead of capturing the rook, we actually have a different plan. Now, this looks like a good idea because the black rook cannot go anywhere, so white might think, oh, I can just save my rook. But the problem with this is going to help smother the white king. Black can bring the queen to e4, checking this. And again, if white wants, they can block with the bishop or with the queen. If they block with the queen, don't capture it with your queen because the bishop is protecting. So they will be blocking with their bishop, and then there's again a checkmate we can do in one step this time. Alright, if you were able to find it, excellent. If you weren't, that's also totally okay. It is not knight c2 because the queen can capture, but it is very close to that. What we can do is we can move the knight to f3. Now the opponent's bishop is pinned by our queen, so this is going to be a smothered checkmate that black can do. So this is the Blackburne Shilling Gambit. We move the knight to d4. However, there's so many things that white can do to not fall for this trap. And let's flip this board to see it from white's perspective. As white, the only bad move is actually to capture this pawn. Instead, you can do a castle, you can capture the opponent's knight, then do a castle, that is going to be fine. We don't want to move our knight to e5. And because like if you castle, maybe black wants to develop their knight, now you can actually try to capture this because there's no more queen trap since the knight is blocking. Maybe they'll bring their own knight to here, but now white can bring the rook to e1, and we're on this very nice open diagonal. If they bring their knight out, we can do a discovered check and win the opponent's queen this way. So white is going to be quite good. I wouldn't do this trap to anybody who's above like 400, 500 rated. But if you're like a new beginner and like you want to do this in some club level games, this is playable. But yeah, white has an easy way to prevent this because there's only one way to fall for this trap, which is to capture this pawn. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. We're uploading videos every single day. See you in the next one. Bye.